also it clears everything.
Hi, you're getting a preview of what you're all going to hear about.
Hola, hola, hola.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna button my shirt like a good boy.
Mm-hmm. I told you we were doing a close-up shot here, Jeffrey.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, we're talking about crystals today.
Yep, crystals and rituals.
And I am wearing today my obsidian pendulum, which is very powerful. I always wear tiger iron, which has like a little bit of a
Mm-hmm.
gold thing to it. This is for grounding.
Good. Okay, let's see where we are. We've got 12 people watching us, Jeffrey.
Hola.
Hola. And
Hi, Sherry.
mm-hmm. And Karen
Hi, Karen.
and Candy.
Hi, Candy.
You're on a roll. We've been here twice this week. Yay.
And Mimi,
Mm-hmm.
Debbie, and Gigi. Hi, Gigi.
Gigi was on early. I already texted her a message from us. So what we're going to look at, giving everybody a chance to get in. Um, Jeffrey's going to talk about how he uses crystals and some of the healing modalities he does through meditation and energy work that I don't do. I closest I come to any of that is I build a grid and I leave it up to you to get it to work. So, but the question had come up. Several of you were like, what's good for this ritual or what's good for that ritual? So today I took them up and I divided them into two different source ways because we have the new moon on the 10th and the full moon's whatever day it is after that. I'm blank.
25th, I think. I have it written down somewhere. Yeah.
And so there are, you can use any stone for anything, right? And but this is, I'm going to start with the new moon stones, and then you can pipe in, Jeffrey, wherever you see a point to talk about. These
Okay.
are the new moon stones. This is citrine. That's
Mhm.
a big chunk of citrine.
Indeed.
And this is a little pebble of citrine. And it wouldn't matter which one of those you had, they all have the same power. So this size does not matter when we're talking about crystals. And this is one of the first crystals I ever bought. It's called the merchant's stone. In the Middle Ages, it was believed that if if you if you had a store, you had to have this, that the gold color, like attracts like, that gold color would be attracted into your booth, your store, your shop, your whatever you had.
Right.
All the traders and all the people in the Middle Ages carried the merchant stone. And then, and so this stone has the same power. When I read for someone who's doing a prosperity sort of a grid, I'll tend to put more citrine in there, and it's not an expensive stone. You can get stones about this size. You can get a pound pack for less than $15 in Dallas.
Right. It's like wealth and abundance and
Right,
prosperity because it's gold.
right, right, because it's gold. And then um, the other stone that it suggested that you have, and I pulled it out, and I don't know where I put it, but it's selenite, and I think I've got a selenite I can pull that's really big, and I know I can find it right away. I was sitting here looking at this all this morning. You would have thought I would have figured this. I was missing something. Anyway,
Hi,
okay.
Linda and Alpha.
Prince Charming's mom. And this is selenite. And you'll see them built like this. A lot of them like towers. You'll
Cool.
also see them rolled into wands. What selenite is, it's actually salt. It's
Cool.
salt that got evaporated down and got pressurized. It's a very fragile stone. If I get it, you can see where it's kind of chipped and stuff. That it just does that because it's salt. Do not put this stone in water. If you do, it will melt. It won't melt a whole lot, but it'll melt off all its shape off. But the cool thing about
It's like very pearlized looking. It's
right.
beautiful.
What the cool thing about selenite is it's a self-cleaning stone. You don't ever really have to clear it. You can leave it alone. It takes care of itself. Then another new moon stone, if you're thinking about things to work with the new moon, it's clear quartz. Now this one, I know you're thinking, is that a clear quartz? It actually is. All those are little imperfections that show up in the stone. And when I first got this stone, it was almost clear. And now I have all of these planes splitting in it. And I can't even imagine what it's going to look like after the solar eclipse. Every time we have a major energy shift around us, that stone gets more little breaks telling me, yep, that's supposed to happen. And I don't think it's going to break apart, but I think it's just, that's one of the reasons why I got interested in earth energies coming on the earth, because when I first had this stone in 2017, it was virtually clear. And now it's full of all those little planes and imperfections, and they look like little slates, pieces of glass. It's a beautiful wand, and I love using it.
Well, it goes to show you that the mineral kingdom is a kingdom unto itself, and that it is in fact alive.
Yeah, it is alive and it grows. The
Right.
other stone we have is a peacock stone, and this is a pretty good example of it. Peacock stone is actually pyrite that gets other minerals on it, and it has all the colors of a peacock's tail in it. And that's another one that they suggest for using around the new moon. Another one is smoky quartz, and I love this piece of smoky quartz because it's not just smoky, it's also clear. You can see where the two of them melded together, and it's just a beautiful stone. And I've been to the mine that came out of in Arkansas. And oh, and then a cute little stone.
Cute little.
This is a rainbow obsidian, and you can kind of see it some. Yeah, you can see it there. You see how there's little rainbows in it. If you take this out in the sun, it's absolutely every color you can imagine in a rainbow on it with a black background. And it's, I haven't had that in my office for a while because my daughter wanted something to help ground her because she has to work and live and sleep in the same space because she works from home. And I gave her that stone, and she said it was like within a day, she just felt like all the chaos she'd been feeling around her was gone. Yeah, that's a real clearing stone. And you've got a piece of obsidian.
Yeah. I'm not playing today. I'm not playing today.
Yeah. Jeffrey's going to come get us all. And then this is a little piece of lapis. It's a light lapis. Lapis can be everything from very light to a dark blue. And lapis is a healing stone. And that's one of the stones they suggest for using with the new moon. And what they'd say is whatever ritual you're going to use, do it. Now, I left my Amazonites because they're little ones. These are the ones I help build grids with. I left it in the bag because when I open them up, they go everywhere. And that we're going into full moon mode now. Amazonite, rose quartz works for both full and new moon. And this is a nice little piece of rose quartz to carry around with you. This is a chunker to use as a doorstop. I'm going to talk about rose quartz, and then I'm going to talk about amethyst. Don't leave these in the sun. The sun fades them out. The mineral that's in these that makes them pink, it will steal the pink color from them.
Same with citrine, no?
Yes, citrine's that way, and amethyst is really bad. I used to have a store next to the vintage clothing store, and they had a beautiful, long, tall, about 5 foot tall amethyst geode, just gorgeous. But it would get so much sun every day, and I finally said to the owner, "You need to take that away from where the sun's sitting at." And when we took it away from where the sun was sitting at and set it up, in another place, um, it continued to pale out for a while, and you could clearly see where it had been in the sun and not in the sun. So amethyst is another one. These are 3 different amethysts. This one is just a polished and tumbled, and you can see kind of the different colors in them. This is a more lilac-y sort of one, and this is a darker amethyst. Those are both Brazilian. Those are all Brazilian amethysts, but they're really good to work with, and these are a good size to carry with you. Tiger's eye. This is another full moon stone, and you can see the different colors in it. And I love tiger's eye.
Yeah,
And
weird.
I got these because I use them to spread energy out. When I create a grid, I'll put them out and they'll take energy from the center, move it out, or take energy from the outside, move it in. And then this is Amazonite. Like I said, that's really good for the full moon ceremonies too. If you're looking to calm things down or you want to communicate better, I'll let Jeffrey go through the chakra colors, but that'll help you with that. And then this is also a very muddy citrine, but it's a citrine. I have a program on my phone, an app, and I can take a picture of a stone and then it'll tell me what it is. I mean, it gives you 3 options, and that always comes up. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you guys, this is mookaite. And mookaite comes from Australia. It's Mooka Creek runs through the opal-bearing land. And these stones they're like agates on steroids. So if you're looking for a really strong agate to carry in, you can see there's lots of reds, there's lots of whites, there's blues, there's greens, there's golds. And it just depends on what part of your body you're trying to fire up.
Mm-hmm.
What is the app that I use? It's called Rock Identifier or Stone Identifier. Let me open it up. I'm an Android person, so I don't know. I had a friend once with an Apple phone that went looking for it and couldn't find it, but it's called Rock Identifier. That's the name. And if you put that in your app thing, you'll be able to find it. And it's really useful. I mean, every once in a while, I'll find a little stone drifting around, and I'm like, "Where did it go? You know, which bag did you slip out of?" Because everything I have is all in great big bags, and I'll show you one. Okay, I gotta do something first. For some reason, my computer decided it wanted to scan itself right now.
Yeah, right.
You know, okay, like I buy my stones in bags like this, and this is green moss agate. Well, when I put them out, when I'm going to build a grid, I'll put a whole bunch of them out, and I'll feel which one feels like it's in the right place. Every once in a while, because I'm just not neurotic about putting things back where they belong, one of these stones will be floating around in a drawer. Well, it really helps for me, and I know what the stones are supposed to look like, but I can trust me, there are stones that look like each other. Now, the cute little stones, this is when I'll end, Jeffrey, you can take over.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm
okay.
Fascinated.
There's 4 little moons here. That's not how they came out of the ground. Those are blue adventurine, and they carve them. They have blue adventurine, green adventurine, and I had some yellow adventurine in these crescent moon shapes. And you think, oh, well, that's going to be a whole lot more because they've carved it into a shape, and it's actually not. It's less expensive sometimes than the raw stone.
I think I have adventuring. Let me go show you. Okay. Hang on. I think I have it, and that's for the new moon.
The adventuring, I just put them out here because they were moon shaped. Oh, okay. But I'm going to tell you guys, I've given you a list, and you know,
I think it's adventuring. No.
Yep.
And what's the energy of adventuring?
But adventuring brings good luck into your life.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice stone.
It is. It's beautiful. It feels
and
good.
I didn't see anybody showing up with any questions except what app do I use to identify stones. So At this point, basically, I'm going to go over it quickly for you one more time so you can kind of catch it. For the full moon, this is a full moon: rose quartz, tiger's eye, mookaite, amazonite, and amethyst. And I all know that those are stones you use at times to release energy or to direct energy. And that's where those would come from. The new moon, which is where you plant your intentions, you've got the citrine, the selenite, the clear quartz, the peacock stone, smoky quartz, uh, obsidian. I put them down here just because I didn't want to have to mess around up there, and lapis. Those my little piece of lapis, my teeny tiny. I didn't realize I was out of lapis. I bought bags of it because for a while I used to put together little 3-stone bags that had intentions for people,
I think
and I
there's
had,
like on my grid.
huh?
I think there's
Yeah,
like,
they're like a little compass grid, and then you could take them out and you could set them up next to you, sort of like Legos crystals. Put this one here and this, and those. And actually, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to come back to me. Um, any stone can work on a if you know what your intentions are and it feels like it belongs there, bring it in. You know,
mhm.
make it a part of what you want. But this is just sort of when people ask me, these are the selections I give them. And you don't have to have all of them. You could have one of them. You could have two of them.
Yeah.
And Lord knows, if you know much about moon rituals, you could add none of them, and
Mhm.
you'll be fine.
Mhm. Yeah, both my new moon and full moon rituals are very similar. I go to the roof. I mean, I have a
Mm-hmm.
roof, but even if you're like it's freezing in your home, I write down what I want to release. And I get rid of it one way or another. I usually set on fire, but you might be weird in your apartment. It's like just tear it up into a million pieces, throw it in the garbage, throw it, flush down the toilet, whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
you write down what you want to receive, and maybe use a colored pencil or something. Um, I mean, I usually like copal and this and that. I'm just making it very simple. And then I write down, I have, like I already received it. I have this, I have this, I have
Mm-hmm.
that. And then I fold it up. I usually put it in a plant because that
Mm-hmm.
way it's growing, right? That's what
Right.
I usually do. And I like copal, and sometimes I'll work with little crystals as well, or the big crystals. Yeah, obviously
Kapal is a kind of burning, uh,
it's
like an
pine wood.
incense. But it's a pine tree. It's harvested a particular way, and they
Yeah,
actually make the same place takes the bits of the trees that it can't use to make the sticks, and they actually make an essential oil out of it, so you can put
it
it in.
smells. I'll show you what it looks like. Wait.
It's really incredibly good. I found it because I needed to use a spray instead of burning sage.
Here I get it so often because they've been using it. It's like this.
Hmm.
And like when you take it off, it's kind of sticky. I mean, even though I've had it for months, it's still sticky. And
Yeah, it's
then you
burn
burn it,
ready.
like the resin burns.
Hmm.
I do it with a charcoal, and you set the charcoal on fire. You can get like little, like like a briquette, whatever.
Hmm.
And you light it on fire, the whole thing goes, and then you put that on top. But the smoke from this thing, like I can't do it in the apartment because it's like I can't find the front door. I can't find anything.
Yeah,
I usually do it
you've got
inside.
the real resin kapal. There's another kind of kapal that's a stick that's harvested off the tree, and
Yeah, yeah,
it burns very densely, and you will know you're burning something.
yeah, yeah. I've used that too, but I like the drama of the smoke. To tell you the truth.
I know, Jeffrey. You just like to wander out of your apartment. Well, you've wandered out of your apartment and smoked before. Let's not go there.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But sometimes I clean the apartment with it. It's like sage. So I put it.
Mhm.
I have a like an incense burner thing that's kind of tall, and I
Mhm.
just do a little number every so often.
Mhm. And people are talking about stones they wear all the time, and that's good. If it's comfortable on you, then keep doing it.
Yeah. So I work with stones and I work with energy. I do energy clearing and healing and realignment with stones. I mean, I do use a pendulum. Whoops, like this.
Mhm.
So I have a whole like a whole script that I go through. It's really an offshoot of the IET. The IET is a healing modality that I offer. It's a little bit like Reiki. It's actually was born out of Reiki, but it's more individualized. So basically, I ask a question, which is, if you could change, shift, manifest, or create anything in your life, what would that be? What would that be? And you know, go big.
Mhm.
And then everyone's very busy. Like, I don't want this. I don't want. It's like that. No, no, no. I ask you what you do want, not what you don't want. In that
Mm.
order, right? This is what
Right.
I want to receive: more love. I want to receive more comfort. I want to receive more abundance. I want to receive, I don't know, clarity.
Mhm.
Then what do you want to release? And no one ever has a problem with that.
No.
And then we bring in your guides and angels, and my guides and angels, your elemental, my elemental, to come together for your greatest good and greatest healing. And then I have a whole script that I go through. I balance chakras. We cut cords. Cords are like an unhealthy, sticky energy that you and another person have between one another. It could be
Mhm.
going out of you or coming into you or both. And then we align chakras, and then we go through, do you have any like blocks in a specific chakra? Do you have
Mhm.
deeper, what they call an engram, which is like a block you've had for many lifetimes? And then we do the cellular memory. It's like this thought pattern or something that you're holding in your heart that's really ancient, that we release, and then we imprint everything with the opposite. That's what we do.
Yep.
So go ahead, what are you going to say?
No, I was just saying that's what I understand. So.
Yeah. So today I figured I would do a little mini clearing on the group. I mean, it's not individualized, but look, we all are probably holding a little energy in a certain chakra or another. And we can clear it and then imprint it with its opposite. How does that sound?
That sounds good. We're going to
Okay.
go. I have to speak for the chat. I have to read what they say.
Okay.
Go for it, Jeffrey.
All right. So what do you want to, this is what I was like this morning. I was like, well, what is it going to be? And I was like, you'll make up your mind when you're there. So we could either do like a heart chakra or we could do a
Mhm.
throat chakra.
I think heart
Okay.
because of
Okay.
the moon
Yeah,
that's coming up.
no problem. All right. All right. So just your job is to sit back and receive. I'm going to lower this a little bit so you can see. So I have my pendulum, all of my pendulums aligned so that when it goes counterclockwise, like so, that is releasing, you see? And then when it's imprinting, it does the opposite. Okay.
Okay.
But
Got
first I do a little, like a little, I don't know, prayer or protection. I call upon the Holy Spirit to come and clean and clear all of our spaces of all thought patterns, of all belief systems, of all doubts, of all fears, of anything and everything that is not for our greatest good and greatest healing. And I send it into the violet fire of transmutation, never to return. So it is, so it is, so it is. We are surrounded in a circle of purple, gold, and white light of protection, love, and healing. We are light. We are always surrounded by light. I ask to interact with beings of the highest frequency of love and light from the Godhead only now. Okay. All right. So your job is to just relax and just, see, sense, smell, feel the energy. And if not, it's still working. Don't worry. All right. Mother, Father, God, I connect with my heart. I connect with my higher self. I connect with my angels and guides. And this is for all of us. Okay. With my mighty I am presence, I hereby clear all heartache, all sadness, all disappointment, all abandonment, betrayal, grief, unhappiness, misunderstanding, sadness, from our heart chakras now. From this time, from all times, from all simultaneous times, parallel lives, parallel universes, simultaneous times, and we send it into the violet fire of transmutation, never to return. So it is, so it is, so it is. Okay, you see it's clearing, right? It's really clearing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it stops, you'll see, it automatically goes into the imprinting. It's so wild. So think of it all as dissolving. Think of it as like a soft rain. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now look at this. I'm not doing a thing, and it's already starting to imprint. It's wild. With my mighty I am presence, I imprint unconditional love, unconditional light, happiness, joy, support, kindness, friendship, abundance, love, trust, opportunities, open-mindedness, clarity, wonder, beauty into our heart chakras now.
Mm-hmm.
With the help of the angels and guides, the company of heaven, I receive, I receive, I receive. I receive, I receive, I receive. 100% now, from this time and all time, and anything and everything that is for our greatest good and greatest healing. 100% now, from this time and all times and all simultaneous times, parallel lives, parallel universes, for the collective. And I see a beautiful rose in my heart opening, receiving joy, receiving abundance, receiving nourishment. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. That felt good.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you.
I do this kind of work on myself all the time, but I think doing it in a group, like it was more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And in light of that, I knew I was going to be on today and doing a little clearing. So if you'd like a one-on-one clearing, I put it on sale until Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Until Sunday. So it's usually $99. I put it on sale for $60 until Sunday, and that's available on my website. Just for the pendulum clearing.
Okay.
So it would be a one-on-one Zoom. So if you purchase it, write me a little thing. It's like Wednesdays are good for me, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could schedule.
There's some interesting comments about where people carry their rose quartz. Thank you.
I could barely see.
I know. That's okay. Jeffrey's trying to read all this on a phone, I do believe.
No, it's my computer, but maybe it's too light or bright. Well, maybe I need glasses.
Well, we had a couple people who wrote in questions, and we're going to go over those now, Jeffrey.
Okay, I'm going to. Maybe
I'm going to put it on the bottom. This one is interesting. And Jeffrey and I had the same impression, because when I get these questions early, I can say we have a question on this and this and this. We don't, in actual fact, come up with all the conclusions we're going to come to about it, but we can see some of it. And okay, this is Stella C. I had a vivid dream of my younger sister coming to me, but only in spirit and touching my head. Would you consider this that was in fact my sister? And Jeffrey and I both felt that it was. I don't know if your sister's passed or not, Stella. We both had a feeling I hope she passed before this happened to you. But we both felt like it was a visitation from that side. What'd you get, Jeffrey?
Yes. I mean, I feel yes, and I know yes, and I'm going to see if we have a little, just a quickie. Look, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, if you invite her in, she'll come back. This could be just the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's bringing you a gift from heaven, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other question that I got in the comments, and that's not okay. Lately, I've been having pressure headaches from your third eye, as well as your left hand unconsciously clenching. Any advice from my guides? Well, what Jeffrey and I felt about this, and I don't know if it's from your guides or my guides, it's coming from somewhere,
Yeah.
um, is are you right or left handed? Because if you're right handed, then it's your left hand would be your receiving hand, and you're having difficult receiving. Same goes the other way. If your left hand is your doing hand, if that's your dominant hand that you write with, then it clenching means you're not doing something you should be doing. And the pressure on your third eye is trying to say, look at this.
Right. It's trying to like communicate with you, but you're clenched. It's like, okay, well, because sometimes it's like we can have a vision or we begin to get more intuitive and it's a little scary. And we're a little bit like, well, I don't really know where this is going. And that's the key, is to unclench. I mean, that's the kind of energy that I do with this,
Mm-hmm.
is to, like, release energy that, maybe is old, usually, that's in the way, that's like not,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I come in and like take out all the vases that are broken and I replace
Mm-hmm.
them with vases that are brand new Limoges with blooming flowers, sort of thing.
Well, this is a good one. When we did the crystal show before, Prince Charming's mom had lost her pink tourmaline, which she really loved. She's found it. I'm so happy, and it's very talkative with her.
Nice.
A pink tourmaline or watermelon tourmaline is really wonderful. It's a wonderful stone.
That would be a real heart stone.
Yeah, I have a small one that I used to wear on top of my malachite heart, and it would keep the energy clean coming into me. I wore it every time when I read out in the real world with real people, and not that you're not real, but um, and
Putting this bad boy back on.
okay.
Without taking off my hat. Well, that ought to be
That won't
interesting.
work, Jeffrey. I know that.
All right. Well,
Okay. Okay. Sharon, is that your course? Is this your course, Jeffrey?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I launched a course and it's 14 meditate. Okay. It's 14 videos. Seven of them are meditations, guided meditations on the chakras. It's me speaking. There's some like really pleasant sound in the background with this really cool graphic that just keeps on going on and on.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. And then there's 7 little mini, it's like a little art class. It's really not an art class. It's really about working with the energy. So it's like, okay, let's say I'm in my solar plexus, which is yellow. So I'm releasing fear and I'm receiving as you're making it. It's almost like a moving meditation that I do, like maybe a
Mm-hmm.
6-minute thing, but it's really about working with the color and putting your intent into the piece of art or whatever it is you're making. If you're working with yellow, would be to bring in expansion, to bring in joy, right? And I release, right? Or if it's the heart, green or pink or both. I did both, I think. It's like I'm releasing heartache and I'm bringing in love. I'm bringing in comfort. So there are 14 videos. So there's, one for each chakra, and they're about, I don't know, 10 minutes each or something. And then the other, the art one, the experiential art one, is also about 10 minutes. So there are 14 altogether, and I put it together as a package. And because I put it on that site, you can download, every single one of them. Every single one of them. I wish I had some, but I ended up morphing. Like, in fact, there's a picture. This was originally the yellow one. And I was like, what am I going to do with the plain yellow? So the yellow is the background, and then I just made it into an abstract painting.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's about working with the energy of the color to empower you. It's like, it's nice, when we utilize a crystal, this or that, a card, but it's like, if I'm making it, I'm involved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm involved. And I think there's something really empowering about that. So that's a course that I put together. And, there's the link.
Mhm.
I've been busy doing a lot of stuff.
No, he sent me one of his and said, "What do you think of it?" When he was first developing them, and they have the most marvelous music and the most wonderful sort of free form um, video on with them. And there's something I can open it up and do it during the day if I'm getting tense about stuff. Not that I can imagine why I have a reason to be tense about anything. But it's really, I'd suggest that you look into that, because you know who Jeffrey is, and a lot of the YouTube people, I'll be listening to them. I think, well, that's okay, and then their voices will get creepy on me. I don't want to explain that. I'm like, no, I don't want that voice in my head anymore. And I'm not one of those people who can just sit in the corner and meditate. I can't breathe like that. Because I wheeze, I listen to my wheezing instead of my breathing. Anyway, here's a question from Imelda. I've been finding dimes in the strangest places for years now. Sometimes I think it's my aunt because it started happening after she passed. I was hoping it was my uncle. I don't understand that part. But what do you think, Jeffrey?
Well, is your first. I know you're hoping it's your uncle, but it's like if you felt initially it was your aunt, then it's probably your aunt. Who was good with money? Who was like generous out of the two? It's really the question. Look, be grateful that, somebody's showing up. What do you think? You think it's the aunt or the uncle?
I don't think it matters. What I do is when I get money, I look at the dates. And there'll be the years that you did something with someone that's important.
That's interesting.
And Imelda thinks it's her aunt. So.
Yeah, that's probably your aunt.
And we have another, not to make this.
Tell the uncle to send you $100 bills.
That's right. Find $100 bills. I found $100 bills in the street one day. But. Question. I was in a crystal shop yesterday trying to find a pendulum and was touching all kinds of stones. Nothing stood out to me, but I fell into a deep sleep when I got home. Yeah.
Big surprise.
Yeah, they can really zap. When I go to the crystal shop to buy crystals for particular grids or things, I allot myself a certain amount of time because I can't take too much longer, And every once in a while, I'll run into something like they have a constant turnover of really good crystals, and they have some big display pieces, and those can be a big display amethyst, a big amethyst geode. It's about 4 feet tall. You can just feel it sucking the power off your body. So, but it's not going to hurt you. It's just going to make you a little tired. Okay. I've been hearing like I'm in the middle of a windstorm. If I meditate, will that go away? There are meditations for tinnitus, which is what that's technically called.
Yeah. Or for calm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if you are having that problem, you need to go to your doctor and make sure it's not a blood pressure problem, because that's one of the things blood pressure really can do, Rossi. Or if it is a sign that your blood pressure is going up, learn how to use it. The only sign I ever had that my blood pressure was going up when I was younger was my back teeth hurt.
How odd.
I'd go put the little cuff on, and it was, yeah, well, there's a vessel that runs back here that gets a lot more stress on it when your blood pressure is too high. So if you find those little tricks for your body, that's ways your body's warning you, and you can start to help yourself. And that's taken from a completely non-medical person. Trust me. But I have a little bit of tinnitus, but it's like a stream that's like off in the woods rippling. It's not loud. But for some reason, Rossi, thanks for bringing it up, it's now ringing through my head. It's not your fault. It's my head's fault. Someone asked about merlinite, and I'd never heard about merlinite.
Cool name.
And it is primarily found in the Southwest in the U.S. And It's magic, intuition, connection with elemental energies, past life recall, psychic openings, and mediumship. So maybe I need to go find a piece of this. Merlinite is naturally occurring quartz with silicon, which is a magnesium oxide. It's got a hardness of 6 or 7, which is good because the higher the hardness, the less likely it's going to get knocked around by the rocks, or if you drop it, it's going to do something odd like break. And some merlinite occurs in massive forms with mixed cliff sides of this. You can see it like running down like a river.
Nice.
It's coated, it can be coated with sparkling druzy. Have you ever seen a stone and it looks like a stone and then it looks like there's a lot of little crystals on it? That's called druzy. And the name merlinite is not a mineral term, it's a metaphysical term. So when you see something that's been identified as merlinite, it's been, and I had to go to the big book of stones to find this. It was not in any of my metaphysical books of stone. I will warn you that there are people who will make up a name for a stone, and I always kind of Google them and look at them that way. I'm going to do a show soon on handling stones because there are some stones that come from places that are radioactive, and you really need to be careful when you handle them. Candy Mullins says her father passed away in 2013. He leaves me dimes because they're more valuable than a penny. You got a gracious father there, Candy. Thank you for showing up today. And let's see.
It's so funny. I haven't seen American money in a while.
Yeah, you're down with pesos.
Yeah. Well, they use a lot of coins here. They use a lot of coins.
Yeah, in England, the bigger the coin, the less it was worth. When I was there, they still had the old-fashioned big pennies, and I'd try to get rid of them, And so I'd go up to they'd have like little slot machines that you could play. And I'd go up and I'd put them in. I always got more pennies. It was just, but I must be fun when you raise children in that world because that penny looks like a whole lot. Anyway, Jeffrey, do you have anything else you want to say to the kind people?
No, just thank you, Nancy, for having me on. And I hope you all, really got to release. And I just, on occasion, I do little mini clearings on my channel too. But it's more powerful, really, if you do it one-on-one because you might be holding something in your throat and nobody else is. And it's more private because it's just me and you on Zoom. And some of the stuff that comes up, like I have like a book, and it's like some of the stuff that comes up is like, wow. It's not the kind of thing you want to do online in front of everybody. And, it's like it's your time. It's your personal story that I want to,
and doing group things is you can't get mixed up with other people's energy. I mean, and as a reader, I can tell you, I'm like, this can't be, I'll have one person who really is struggling and has something that I really need to address. But Imelda is right-handed. So for you, lady, I think
so. Yeah.
If so, I think the clenching of the left fist is denying receiving information.
Yep.
Those of you who read tarot, the right-left thing works also. If they get the carriage when they get the chariot upside down, I used to say to them, are you right or left-handed? And then we discuss it, and I'd figure out what they were, and I could tell from the other cards around it which was the weaker side, and I was almost always right. And it really is being balanced. My balance is really kerflugeled right now, and I think it's part of the awakenings, but it's very scary. And I work every night when I go to sleep to balance the right and the left because I don't want to get out of control.
Yeah, part of the thing that I do, like after an IET, is I cross the signals. because I usually do IET remote because most people that I do it for are in the States or Europe or whatever. So I do it on my teddy bear. So I do it's hands on, and then I you cross the signals to like ground it in a way. You know, your right to your left to your right. You put it on your knees and you ground it in, and then go all the way down the legs. And
Mm-hmm.
it kind of it plants it in a way.
I got one more question that somebody just asked, and I just saw it in the book.
About a crystal.
Yes, she wants to know what crystal will help with circulation. Numbness in her left hand and thumb. Rose quartz held in your hand helps move energy into your hand. And I presume you think it's from a circulation problem. Um, that's a
Well,
it's a single cleanse, and like I said, you wouldn't need more than a piece this big in each hand.
and rose quartz is easy.
And
I
rose
was
is easy.
I actually asked it. I was like, well, anything red or pink will work because it's
Yes.
circulation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I've got one more. The Judy Hall book on. Let me see if I can see a quick entry on circulation. And the reason I'm looking it up is because I don't keep all these things in my mind because I don't remember all that well. She doesn't have anything on circulation. So, what you could do, Jen, is Google crystals that help with circulation, and and then read the articles that are around them because some of these, I swear, you're going to find clear quartz everywhere. Everybody wants you to use clear quartz because, for one, it's really good and it is a good stone. But the second part is it's really easy to come by. But just read their explanations and what they say it's doing to your energies, and figure if that's something you want to invite into your life.
Mhm.
Because, like Jeffrey and I said, these stones are alive.
I'm kind of feeling carnelian.
Yeah, that's really a good stone for circulation.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling carnelian. And I don't even know that much about stones.
No, Jeffrey just hangs out a lot. It's a really pretty stone too, and there you can find little carnelians, and they're look um, bloodstones. I don't know. Let's see if I can find that. I think bloodstones are called bloodstones for a different reason. If you've ever taken one out in the sun, you can see there's the green. Let's see, carnelian. It says that it's good for that, but we're looking for bloodstone. It's bloodstones are to detox you, but bloodstones are actually called bloodstones because when you see them out in the sunlight when they're polished, you can actually, it looks like the stone is bleeding. The red is coming out of the stone on top of the dark color.
I had a bloodstone a long time ago. Somebody gave me. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I have a friend who's got a carnelian, and if I could ever steal a stone from anyone and live with my conscience, I'd take this one. But it's a palm stone. It's about the size of this stone, but it's more round, so you can just hold it in your palm like that. And when you hold that stone in your hand, you can feel it purring inside.
Hmm.
It's really good stone.
Yeah, and it's very ancient. They were using carnelian in ancient India and ancient Egypt and places.
Mhm.
Really, they've been using it for a long time.
Okay, somebody wants to know if it's a great niece likes to play with stones. I don't have any yet, but they are. Are they safe for young children? Okay, you don't have your malachite with you. There's a beautiful stone called malachite.
I do. I do.
Okay,
I love malachite. Malachite is amazing.
yeah, see, but the color in that is copper. And even when adults are messing with malachite, when I use malachite in a grid, I go wash my hands because there's an appreciable amount of copper in that. If you go to a reputable stone store, um, they will tell you there are some stones that carry radiation. I don't think I'd want my kids playing with that, especially if the child's likely to put anything in their mouth, you want to make sure you watch that. She's 5 years old, so she's probably past eating everything. There's,
I mean, sometimes I put anything in my mouth sometimes too.
I know. Well, I got a crystal called, someone was sent to me by a friend. It's called Vandonite, and it's a beautiful purpley crystal, and it's got a lot of druzy crystal builds on. But in the bag it came in, it said, "Keep it in this bag, and after you handle this crystal, go wash your hands." And you can only kind of get, most of the Vandonite that comes out that I've ever seen comes out of Russia or that kind of northern area. I don't know what's in it, but it's a beautiful stone to look at. I don't touch it, but you can tell if there's a lot of copper in crystals because they'll be greenish. That's what makes turquoise have its blues and greens. So if I don't, yeah, and Jeffrey wears it every day. I don't think it would hurt the child, but I am going to do, and I've done it before. I've done a whole show on crystals to have around you and what to be aware of when you're working with them.
Mm-hmm. I used to have a Criscola, which is so beautiful. Unfortunately, it broke, but also tons of copper. I guess I need the copper. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, everybody, thank you for being here. If you're new to my channel, you want to like, and if you like the show, and subscribe. If you're not new to my channel, if you just like the show, YouTube's getting really tricky on the metrics. And if you get more than half of the people who watch the show like it, it's going to get recirculated. And I saw a couple of my videos that got recirculated, and I looked, and that was true. So I just want to remind everyone of that. I just hope this was helpful, gave you some ideas. Your first thing's the new moon, and but really any crystal you want to carry out there. But I'd say the citrine and the crystal quartz and the peacock stone, which is a pyrite, which is also an attractor of wealth. And with that, you want to say goodbye, Jeffrey? You have anything else you need to say?
Yeah, come and see me on my channel. Go to my website if you want
Tell
to do
them
it.
what it's called. How are they going to get there? Ripecolor.
Ripecolor.com or
Okay.
Ripecolor. Just go to YouTube, Ripecolor. It just comes under Ripecolor. I use that's the one thing I did with marketing that was good. My Instagram, my everything is Ripecolor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have to remember two things. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And I will be on Saturday morning. I'll be with Celtic Tarot, doing a little celebration with her. And then Sunday I'll be with Scott again. And then I'll be doing my Tuesday and Thursday. I think I have Dr. Gail squashed in there. But you know me, I always let you know when I'm going to be on. So have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.